we got a clog in the pump truck.
Welcome back. It's concrete day. Watch us as we pour my slab for my post frame barndominium. So obviously we used a pump truck for this job, and I can't imagine pouring a slab this big without using the pump truck. This is a 50 by 104 slab, and it's about 80 yards of concrete. So my buddy Trey here, he's going to be running that stand-up screed. He's got two guys going ahead of him with lasers. They're going to be making sure the concrete's at grade the entirety of the slab. Trey's going to be pushing down that aggregate, smoothing it out, getting ready for me to come behind him and bull float. So the area that you see us working on here, this is going to be for our house. This is going to be 4 inches thick with a very thickened edge that sits directly on top of the footer. The shop is going to be at 5 inches thick. In the back, you can see both of those concrete trucks. They're both dumping at the same time into the hopper of the pumper truck. One thing that I wasn't able to get on video for this pour is we had guys on each side of the slab running concrete vibrators. They would vibrate those thickened edges to make sure we didn't have any honeycombing when we pulled the form boards off. But anyway, look how nice and flat that is, and we haven't even bull floated yet. Here's another angle at Trey working that stand-up screed. We've already got all the concrete placed in the house, and we're starting to work our way back into the shop. That sun is just starting to creep up over that horizon and heat up the sky, and we still have a lot of work to do. And right here is where we had our first setback.
All right, we got a clog in the pump truck. Trey says a coffee enema will help that out.
That's right.
While that pump truck operator was working his tail off to get that clog out for us, the 7th and 8th truck showed up, and they're sitting there spinning in my driveway with calcium in the concrete. The 5th and 6th truck weren't empty yet, and we didn't know how long this was going to take, so it can be quite annoying. But he got it all fixed up, and we're back to work, and that setback ended up only being 20 to 25 minutes, so it ended up not being a big deal. And for all you rebar beta queens out there saying to pull up the rebar, go back and rewatch this video and count how many times you see the guys in the background pulling the rebar up. Here's the mix that we ended up using for this pour, and since it was a pretty cold day, we ended up putting calcium in it so it set up a lot faster. This is our first pass with a power trowel, and it's not quite set up yet in this area, so we're starting to back off. There were 3 of us that were running these power trowels at the same time, while some of the other guys went around and were cutting in for the garage door access, cleaning up the edges and around the plumbing stub outs. Here's a wider view of us power troweling that slab, and you can see how nice and consistent that floor is turning out. It took 2 hours and 12 minutes to place the 80 yards of concrete for this pour, and that was with the 20 to 25 minutes of the pumper truck being down. This pour went pretty smooth, and we were done and wrapped up by about 4 o'clock. Thanks so much for watching. Remember, we're trying to build this barndominium debt-free, and you following us along really helps us out. See you in the next video.